You know what I loved about this movie, and it kind of goes back to some of your past stuff, is it reminds me of those, what I miss about network television and the great sitcoms that we used to have, where you see these characters that you love and you kind of want to come back and revisit every week. You know, it's like you don't want to just see them for 90 minutes and it's like, oh, I wonder what they're going to be doing next week. And so, you know, that's what I loved about this film. I mean, do you kind of draw from your TV experience to do that? And
yeah, probably. I mean, I'm a huge fan of classic TV, you know, for that reason. Like, I think whether it's Beverly Hillbillies or Bob Newhart show, like you just, as long as they're true to their characters, it doesn't have to be a great episode. You just kind of want to go watch those people. You just want to go check in with those characters. Yeah, actually, I mean, this, you know, both this and Office Space, I thought, you know, could have been fun as a TV show. And Office Space, well, then they have had a few Office TV shows since that have been really good. So I mean, I wouldn't do that now.
Right.
Hard to top those ones, but yeah, I'd probably approach it a similar way.
Right. Well, any interest in doing a non-animated television series? I mean, because reality TV has just ruined television. You know, it really has.
You know, I would actually like to do. I would love to do a live action sitcom or TV show. Yeah, I kind of. It's weird. Like you know, King of the Hill. Fox specifically wanted an animated show from me. You know, and I did think about at one point briefly doing that live action, and you know, there's no way that was going to happen. They want animation, but yeah, I would love to do that.
Yeah. So what would it take though? I mean, you say the networks. I mean, is that what really drives it? I mean, it seems like in your career now, you would you could walk into a network and say, hey, I want to do this, and they would know that it would fly.
Yeah, I probably could. I just I guess I've just been busy with other stuff.
Right, yeah.
King of the Hill going, and maybe now that King of the Hill's over, you know, I've thought about it actually. I did a guest spot on Frasier once, and I just really liked the experience being on a sitcom. It's just you got an audience there. It's you know, and I don't know if I would, you know, either that or just a regular single camera comedy could be fun too. But
right, I can see it working anyway. Now, Extract 2, I mean, kind of like in line with Office Space, but still kind of goes up to the management level, you know. But it's also as much about marriage, I think, and his relationship with his wife, and just that whole thing of, you know, not being happy and the new girl coming in. So, I mean, is it a balance of work and marriage, or is it? Yeah,
I think it's. You know, I remember actually watching Siskel and Ebert once, like a long time ago, before I made movies or anything, and they were complaining about how you don't find out about characters through what they do in their work very often in movies. They phrased it better than that.
Right.
But so you know, to me, you know, like your work and your everyday, that's a huge part of who you are, and so. But yeah, it started out as an idea that, you know, a friend of mine and I were talking a long time ago about this. What if you hired a gigolo because you didn't want to feel bad about cheating and you thought your wife might go for it, and I thought, you know, what if some guy in a bad moment got stupid enough to do that, and before he could stop that train, it had already happened. And so that it started with that, and then, you know, I just thought also that you know, Office Space was told from the point of view of the employee and sympathetic to the employee. And after doing Beavis and Butthead, where I for the first time in my life had employees and lots of them trying to babysit all these people, like you know, I mean, that sounds a little mean, I guess, but you know, I thought it'd be interesting to do something that's kind of the inverse of that, where you're looking at it through the guy who owns the place and has to run it, and with the sympathy to that guy, you know.
I love the aspect of it. I love the comedy element, and I love the pacing. So if you ever decide to do something on the television, I think it would be a hit, especially because it is so character driven. We don't see that many character movies anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, it's and the, you know, and I think the comedy kind of lives or dies on how it's performed, you know, and so that's
right. And the chemistry and just the relationship. There's the relationship in this works almost like a sitcom would. So, and I hate making that comparison, but that's what I loved about it was the pacing. I think that's what makes it a great film.
Yeah,
the characters.
I like to. I'm pretty meticulous about that stuff.
Yeah.
And the actors have really good timing. I like to.
Yeah. Well, it worked. Well, I appreciate your time today. I know it's a
Thank
busy
you.
day, so good luck with the film.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.